Welcome one and welcome all back to this great show called Death to Squids. That's how you death a squid. Ah, you shot me, you freak. Oh, I'm leaking blood. There's so much in this movie.
Just so everybody's not concerned or call the cops, they're just squibs.
Yeah, they're just squibs, not squids.
Don't freak out. Please don't freak out. It's just my fingers. It's not a real gun. Okay.
It's just squids. You know that kid Sammy from Rocket Power? These goddamn squids always trying to get over here. Guys, today we are discussing Trancers 2, Return of Jack Deth. But before we begin, Jose, guess what?
What?
A little bit of... No, the sensor's not there. I can't reach it. Hold on. Oh, shit. It's Vamp.
Oh, God. Sorry. That was so funny. James said, watch this, and went to go change the colors on the LEDs with the remote, and it did not change at all. Just...
Hey, Jose, check out this. It's a bad sensor. Hold on. If I were sitting over there, it would work. I'm in the corner and there's a bunch of stuff blocking the sensor.
Why don't you pick this? Well, I understand why you don't pick this corner to see the computer, but still, just change it while you're there, please. You don't need to reposition the sensor. Just change it.
Hey, Jose. Hey. How about you check out this? There we go. It's red in here. Because last time I couldn't find the remote. No, next time I'll be like, hey, I moved the sensor. What, you want more green? Oh, that's that weed shit. Maybe a cool blue, a pink, it's other pink.
Purple?
Yeah, I can do purple. Purple.
That's blue.
Well, no, that's purple, bro. That's the button I clicked. It's purple. I clicked it.
I get you.
Is maybe Roy G. Biv.
I'm colorblind, so everything looks like blue.
Oh, everything's blue, dabu didu do badai?
Sorry, I don't want to. That's all we get because of copyrights.
No, you just sing, I'm blue. If you do any copyright infringement, as long as you're horny while doing it, you're fine. Unless the movie or a material is horny, then you have to be a prude while doing it.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Okay, today we're discussing Trancers 2, Return of Jack Deth, released direct-to-video on August 22nd, 1991, a month shy of my birthday. Wah wah, goo goo gaga. The film sees the return of Tim Thomerson as Jack Deth, Helen Hunt as Lena, and Allison Croft as Down the Line McNulty, the best actor in this movie. She's dope, guys.
Oh.
Okay. This is the first time. Also, imagine you're a teenager, 1991, and you go to the video store and you're like, holy shit, I've been renting Trancers for like 2 years now. And there's a Trancers 2 that would be so mind-blowing.
Yeah, I mean, I remember those days. The movie store days, it would have been fun. I always went to the movie stores just to rent video games, though.
Oh, dang, no, yeah. I was a both.
This is probably not great.
I was when it came to video store rentals, I was versed.
Yeah, no, my dad would rather buy a bootleg than than go rent it at like Blockbuster.
Yeah, because then you only have it once.
Yeah,
but if you buy a bootleg.
Yeah, you have it forever.
Uh-huh.
He didn't care about the quality either. It did not.
Well,
for him, it did not matter. If somebody walked across the street,
about the steal.
He was just like, yes, I can watch this movie.
I have it in beautiful 180p. Okay, this is the first time in the Trancers franchise to be distributed under Full Moon Features. We touched on this last episode, but we'll go in deeper now. Full Moon was formed by Charles Band after Empire Pictures went under. Band's goal with Full Moon was to create low-budget horror, sci-fi, and fantasy films while retaining a somewhat, in quotes, big budget, out of quotes, look. Their first big hit was Puppet Master, a franchise that has gone on to have... How many films do you think are in the Puppet Master?
13.
15.
Oh, it was close.
You might also know some of Full Moon's offshoot films under Moonbeam Entertainment, which focuses on children's movies, most notably Prehysteria.
Yes, Prehysteria.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a bit, for me as a child, Prehysteria, it's a movie about a kid who finds like real life dinosaurs, but they're tiny.
Oh, that's what that movie's called?
Yeah, Prehysteria. That was a video rental, and it had to have been on TV, or like a friend must have owned it because I watched it so much, and it was a staple, and it went on to have 3 movies, so it was a huge deal when you saw that cover at the rental store.
Yeah, no, I saw that on like a Saturday morning once when I was younger, and like when we had like a basic cable would have like weird kids movies or kids shows sometimes. So I remember like vaguely seeing that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
A series which I watched so much as a kid, and one of my favorites as an adult is the movie Beanstalk, a wild take on Jack and the Beanstalk. It's where it's normal day life, but if you can get up into the clouds, it's giants. And the giants are like in a 50s aesthetic.
I'm going to have to watch that.
It's wild and crazy. And then I ended up watching a movie with a kid from A Christmas Story that same day, or that same week maybe, that was called The Dirt Bike Kid. And that is also a Jack and the Beanstalk take. So I watched two Jack and the Beanstalk movies.
Dirt Bike Kid is a Jack and Beanstalk?
Yeah.
What?
Pretty much the magic beans is this dirt bike.
Okay.
Yeah, now that I'm saying it, I think I have everything wrong, but I know that is correct.
Okay.
One of the best-known directors, at least in my eyes, to get his start under Charles Band is David DeCoteau, who was the line producer on this movie, who has directed over, at the time of writing this, 177 movies, and we went in depth on him on our Shriekers and Curse of the Puppet Master episodes of The Height of Horror, available wherever podcasts are found. There is another sequel to Trancers, Jose, titled Trancers City of Lost Angels. It was made as a part of an unreleased 1988 anthology film, Pulse Pounders, which Charles Band previously directed and produced for his previous studio, Empire Pictures. This is available on Tubi, and we will someday watch it. However, it's only 20-ish minutes long, so it's too short to watch on its own, but too long to tag on at the end of one of these watches.
Okay.
So we got to figure out someday to discuss it.
All right,
Maybe we'll watch it separately and then on an episode bring it up.
I'm down, yeah, for the next one. So we will discuss it before we discuss the third movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down.
It's just another, hey, Jack's doing trancer shit stories.
I'm all for it. I'm enjoying this story already.
Hey, guess what? Changing it back to, what color did I have? Probably that color.
Yeah.
Last time the walls got deep. MC deeped. I'm like high, but also not high, it feels like, but I know I am, but I'm not like goofy high. Just like,
I don't really know if this was an indica or sativa.
Get that indica into ya.
It's a weed, I'll tell you.
Yeah, some don't say it, so that I just assume, hey, it's a hybrid.
Probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
These goddamn Priuses, these weed strands, am I right? These goddamn hybrids.
Hybrids and the Priuses, and they're making our streets safer.
Uh-huh. I'm a high, what's a brid?
A high bridge.
Yeah, that's most bridges. You don't want a low bridge.
You have to.
Because why would you have one? Unless it's to walk over a stream. All right, let's get into this goddamn story. But first, I would like to say, we belong in a green world, guys. talking about these hybrids keeping us safe on the streets, keeping it clean.
Keeping it green.
Yeah, these Trancers here, they want to make a green Earth.
Yeah, they're activists, as they said in this. They're what global activists.
Yeah, they were green world activists. And he was like, "Oh, you're polluted with toxins just like this planet." Okay, so initial thoughts.
Not as strong, but still great.
Yes.
But in its own way, like the first one was weird and funny. This was just funny, like pretty funny all the way around. Like there was so much shit in this.
And so many one-liners.
Yeah, I wrote so many notes for this one movie compared to the first one. Because this one was just crazy. So many weird shit in this movie.
Because it starts with an expo dump to be like, hey, you rented this movie, but maybe you didn't see the first one since 1984.
Oh, yeah. That's another thing.
Oh, yeah, there's like a 6-year difference because it's 1991. So that doctor lady from the first movie, she's back and is just giving an expo dump of like, oh, Jack, he no longer's here and he wasn't able to go up the line previously because he didn't have the syringe, but now we can because we have this machine. Oh, and his wife, wonder if she's there too.
Which is also weird because like they have to explain to you that they brought his wife, not even brought her back from the dead, like from dead. I'm not even saying that phrase correctly, but I don't really care. They legitimately went down the line.
Yeah.
To the day before she dies. Just to send her again back down the line to find Jack. Just so they can send her back up the line to die again.
Yeah.
It's fucked.
Train a new Trancer or go like... But also, that logic doesn't make sense because you could tell her like, hey, this is going to happen to you. Make sure you are aware when it does.
And somebody's gotta have
also
an ancestor, if not in LA, near California, where they can take a plane.
Yeah, also if this can change the future, which we've seen because that's how Whistler was killing people later on, they just ceased to exist, that would mean... Oh, fuck, what was my line of thinking? Oh, that means, like, if you go back in time, you can change the past. So by them killing Whistler in the past and his brother in the past, that would mean they're not in the future. So when she comes back, there would be no Whistler.
That is true. So then she technically doesn't die.
Yeah.
No, now you're making a lot of...
Am I, though?
You are, though, because hear me out.
Yes. All ears.
Because everything you've said is correct. When they killed the ancestors of the council member, they die in the future.
Yes.
So
cease to exist.
They cease to exist. So if Whistler dies in the past,
he would just all of a sudden cease to exist right where you are, which we had this conundrum before of like you would see them cease to exist in every single possible timeline at a specific time.
Yeah. So then like... How is she not alive? But also, how are you doing this? I mean, why? There's just a lot of whys. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, this also goes back to my statement, though. We had planes back then.
Yeah?
You could just get on they were like, the only reason why they went back for his wife is because Jack and Jack and McNulty are the only ones that have ancestors back in old California.
Yeah. Yeah, take a plane.
There's cars, like there's...
But this is emergency, baby.
Planes are still fast.
Whoa, they are?
Yeah.
Oh, even back then?
Yes.
In 1994.
Yes.
84.
Yes.
Wow, I just thought they started getting fast.
No, I think the Concorde was made in the 90s, the super fast jet.
Like Brit and
not Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, dang it. Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. What's the other guy's name?
I can't remember.
Brit. I always see the other guy in so much more, though. It seems like Brit is just, he's a fun-loving dude. He's just chill with vibing in good old New Zealand, mate. Oi. What are you looking up?
I'm looking up the Concorde.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to see when they were made because
No, I was kidding. I know airplanes have always been fast.
they were, I think,
They
started
need
in
to
the
be.
70s. So
Okay.
like they've been always, because then that doesn't make any sense for the movie now. Now you're really my brain is broken.
Well, you want to know what broke McNulty's brain? Whistler has a brother?
Whistler has a brother?
What? But also, was it Whistler's brother in the past? So another future Whistler could go back down. But then he's dead. We've killed him. So how is he able to come back? The time machine mechanics in this don't make sense.
I don't know, man. I didn't even.
Where's low-key to singe the timeline when you need it?
To fix this timeline. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Jose, my buddy calcified just like Jack Deth. No.
Thank you, Jack.
Oh, so McNulty in the future, we just described him as doing Robert De Niro face acting. You
so
know the
bad.
kind. It's so bad, like the oh yeah, hey,
The sunken in face.
huh?
You talking to me?
You talking to me, sir? Huh? Did you own the casino? Huh? Can you milk a cat?
Can you make me? Yeah, no, I have a note here that's just McNulty's acting is horrible. It's bad.
It felt like they had these two for 4 hours. So they're like, we have one take of everything and that's it.
They didn't have enough film. That's probably what it was.
Uh-huh. And what's their face? The doctor is like, if we don't stop this, Whistler's going to start a Trancer war. And he goes, a Trancer war? Which, I forgot to mention this, while doing research, I found out that Full Moon Features and Charles Band are currently working on a reboot of Trancers as a TV series. So if they do a Trancers war, that would be so good.
If they do a transfer series, we are going to have to do it for this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully it's like a 6-episode thing.
Like a weekly podcast.
Yeah. A Trancer war?
A Trancer war? Like, you guys have been at wars with Trancers for a while. You've been fighting them for so long.
This is a goddamn army.
And it is in the past, so they have a way to just mess the entire future up for them.
Yeah.
I get it. I understand.
So we're back in current day 1991, and Jack is giving more exposition dump just to explain, like, hey, we have goddamn 80 minutes to tell a story. We need to do this. So, hey, this person's here. Hap is now rich, and we're living with him to protect him because a Trancer could always come back. And Jack says, oh, fucker is a speculative buyer or whatever. I don't really know. Maybe with betting, with the stock market, etc., investments. He says, oh, yeah, he's making a lot of money and he better. So because he needs to afford his hobby, and it zooms over and he's Hap Ashley is cleaning a fire truck, and then it's like, no, it can't be fire trucks. And Jack says, fire trucks.
It's crazy how Hap goes from the first one being on the streets, being a houseless person and a drunk, to being almost seemingly having a mansion with so much land.
Yeah.
So much land. Like,
Well, he probably was just asking Jack, hey, what stocks should I be buying?
you know what? You're right.
Because he did say at the end, hey, what's that Jack Deth do for a living? And Hap goes, well, winking at him, he's a fortune teller.
He's a real life fortune teller.
That was such a children's movie of bullshit. That was bad. I want to know, there's got to be director commentary on this somewhere. I want to know whose mansion and fire trucks those were. Or if they wrote the script around, we will get this mansion and everything on it, and they just so happened had fire trucks there because whoever owns this mansion is a nut job.
I was going to get into what happens after McNulty gets sent down the line. Once they're all talking about, Jack comes back to the house after when he's explaining about Hap's newfound hobby. And then Hap's like, seriously? What's going on? Trancers, man. I think they're back. And then then they cut over, because it's a really bad cut. It looks like it's somebody cutting for a pause for like a commercial break.
Uh-huh.
And then after that, it cuts over to Jack and Lena talking about buying a house, because she's like, oh, I don't want to live with Hap anymore. And he's like, oh, I got to protect him. Trancers. And she's like, oh, seriously, again with this Trancer stuff? Lady, you just, 5 years ago, you almost died multiple times.
You used a long second, you fucker. Yeah. For real. Believe in him.
And then it cuts over to the landscapers that Hap just so happens to hire to come through.
Did you know that Gardner was played by a young, elderly Steven Seagal?
You're
No, it's not. But it looks like him. It looks like a young, elderly Steven Seagal.
It honestly looked like McNulty.
Oh yeah, too.
Yeah. So then the Trancers show up and attack Hap, and Jack shows up to save him. And all you hear is, Jesus Christ, Trancers, from Hap, which is like, the delivery of the line is so great.
Well, I think that was after they got singed, which it never happens again. No one gets singed. Oh, but no, because they have to, because that's just like a chemical makeup of them. I thought like them getting singed brings them back up the line, but when he was in the future and singed them, they get singed. So that's just what they do. There are so many times when he just shoots a random person, shoots a random cop without checking to see if they are Trancers or not. Because the cop he shot could have just been a normal cop being told, hey, you need to export this patient from this place to this place.
It's so funny because he just straight up just murders a couple guys, and we don't even see the bodies evaporate.
Uh-huh.
It's just a matter of
never again.
Just Jack unloading on people for the rest of the movie.
Even Whistler, when he died, I don't think he got singed.
He didn't. He straight up just died there. There was no singeing there.
So then McNulty shows up on a bike and just like falls over on it.
And the worst, honestly.
There's so much shit where there's clearly, hey, you need to do an in quote stunt.
Yeah.
And they were on such a short schedule that they were like, you cannot get hurt. So you need to be very cautious, because there's a part when Alice, she's running away from some guards, and clearly there is a patch of hay to signify this is where you fall down at, but they also want her to look behind to be like, oh, are they chasing me? So she's just being very cautious while running away. It's very funny.
Oh, man.
But when McNulty shows up, they're like, who the fuck are you? And McNulty, we're going to go he or she, he probably signifies as a he.
Yeah.
McNulty, as a 15, 16-year-old girl, says, hey, Lena, nice robe. And Lena immediately says, hey, McNulty.
And covers up. Did you see that? Too?
As if they have been hanging out. This child and her of like, oh, remember that time I blanked out and was hanging out with like you, I guess?
Just so nonchalant.
That's because you were inhabited by a future man, and I'm dating a future man right now, and then they get a bond, I guess?
I mean, it could happen. There's some weird stuff that does happen in this.
Uh-huh.
Like Rabbit being the most charismatic man in the world.
That's my next note. Man, so there's this man who... he goes on a tangent. He's an orderly, and he says, oh, yeah, I'm not a mental patient, but I've been around mental people my entire life. I speak their language. And then Alice goes, yeah, I can tell. But he's so charismatic because so Alice was brought back, and the relative she inhabited, it was in this mental ward already. and then she has to try and find a way out because she has her full mental capacity. So it's weird how it wasn't like, hey, I can leave now, right?
No. I mean, are you talking about like when she was...
Well, when she was in the initial
because that's
institution.
a tactic. That's a tactic people use.
Oh,
I'm fine. I can just go home. And then they're like, no.
It seems like there would be such a different change that people would think this is weird.
Yeah.
Or maybe they are fine.
I doubt it. Also,
Okay.
it was being ran by Trancers, so...
No, but I think the one before it being ran by Trancers, because they were brought from a government-owned institution to this one.
Maybe that's what happened. So maybe they were like, we need to send you through the system so you can get evaluated.
Maybe.
Because we can't authorize your release because of some shit you did. So you have to get your evaluation done.
You have to PIB.
You have to pay a fine or something.
You have to pay a fine to get out of the mental ward?
This is, yeah. Sorry, pay a fine. I mean, you have to pay your copay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, no, even when you're a ward of the state? I don't think you do.
It was the 80s. You never know.
Okay, maybe.
You never know. Also, it was California, so...
California. Yeah, this dude has clearly so much charisma because this maybe like 23, 25-year-old woman comes to drink beer with him that he hides in his office trash can.
It's not even beer. That's the worst part. It's warm vodka.
Trash warm
vodka. And he has 2 cups that he's pouring orange soda into so they can drink.
And she's practically about to eat her bottom lip. How much she's like,
It's like, hey, Rabbit.
Oh, Rabbit. Why do they call you that? This is later in the movie, but hey, Rabbit, why do they call you that?
Oh, because when I was younger, I used to jump into the headlights in the streets when they were coming by.
I just didn't do it. I loved doing it.
I loved to jump in there, and they thought I was crazy, but I'm not crazy. What kind of crazy man makes $63 a week, which is also in the 90s, $140 a week as an orderly.
But back then, rent was much cheaper. I think you could work that. If it's in a smaller area.
Like some type of hazard pay when you work as an orderly.
Well, they're being ran by the greeny weenies.
I'll call them the greeny weenies.
Oh, man, and you want to fuck me now, don't you?
Oh, my God. So while Rabbit's having this whole little date.
Menage a trois.
I think that.
The booze?
Yeah, while they're having the little date.
I'm saying the booze is the third.
Oh, yeah, sorry, the threesome.
Or his other personality.
So while this is all happening, Rabbit gets a phone call, and Alice is sneaking through the hallways. And she straight up, during this time, drugs the chick.
Yeah.
That
well, it's drugging, but she sees 2 glasses and probably knows they meet up all the time. So, hey, she's drugging both of them. Should we say what they're drugging, what this drug is?
It's what is it, James?
It's Scrub 78 Hyper Crack of the Future.
It's like crack, but it's so much stronger. So once Rabbit's done talking on the phone, he goes to resume his date, and all you hear is Pearl, because she's passed out. And the whole time, all I could think of is Mrs. Pearl from SpongeBob. Sorry.
That's Mrs. Puff. Pearl is the whale.
There you go, mixing the names up.
Hello, Mrs. Pearl.
Mrs. Pearl.
She's a whale who puffs up. Why didn't Mr. Krabs and Mrs. Puff get it on? There has to be an episode where they go on a date.
I think they do.
Okay.
I think there is an episode that they... I might be wrong.
Show me that hentai.
I'm not looking
Show
up
me
the
that
Rule 42.
hentai.
No.
Look it up on Joe's laptop.
He'd fucking kill me, honestly.
No, set it as his wallpaper or his like homepage.
Oh my god!
Not a website of those. Just like find one specific one.
Picture and then put it there.
Yeah,
I got you. I can do that.
Do it as make it a PNG transparent and make it his screensaver, and it just bounces around.
It's like the DVD home screen.
Just like them fucking, and it's just like a sticker cut of them. It's just the characters.
I should just make it
bouncing.
The mouse, the mouse indicator.
Yeah. Make whenever he fires up his Xbox, the noise, instead of whatever noise it makes, it's like Mrs. Puff moaning.
Or just her yelling Mr. Krabs.
Or Mr. Krabs saying, "Yarr."
Yar me money.
Oh, shiver me. My timber. That's wood, and that's also a penis. But shiver her a Quim Burger.
Quim Burger.
That's a vagina.
Oh.
Yeah, call a vagina a Quim Burger.
Did not know that.
Give me a Quim Burger. Hum, nom, 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 nom.
Not all as in it's disgusting, but I just did not.
Yeah. Did you know, have you ever heard of a vagina referred to as a box?
Yes. Actually.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
We had a teenager on Mostly Speaking Sentai. We didn't know he was 18, but like I knew he was in college, so I was like, yeah, of course we'll have him on. He was very funny, awesome. But Nicole referred to vagina as like a pizza box as like, oh, it's like you could refer that to like a woman, and it was part of what we were talking about. It was great wordplay on her behalf. And Frankie dismisses it as like a literal, like, oh, like, just get a pizza. And we're like, wait, did you not, vagina is slang for box, right? And he's like, no. What? And I was like, oh yeah, it must be an date-outed term.
Oh yeah. No, I haven't heard that in a while, but I've heard it used. Yeah.
Nicole says it all the time. She says, get in this box. And I says, no, Nicole. No, she never says that.
Jesus.
She says, ooh, my box. She doesn't.
Oh, and after the greenie weenie scene, that's when we see the best scene ever. They're transporting Alice. And that's when Jack pulls up and shoots the cops. Well, the one cop, and there's no indicator of him being a trancer or not. Doesn't unstrap Alice, just takes the stretcher and throws it in the passenger seat.
It's so funny. Which, real quick, we missed a part where he goes to a haberdashery. What? No, that's a hat store. A greenhouse. And he's like, hey, I'm asking about a truck, and they're like, oh, that truck was stolen because that's who has the Trancers. And Jack he gets pinned in with a forklift, and he has to use the long second thing, and he like runs and he like shoots real quick, and there's so much blood in these squibs.
Yeah, this time I was like, that is way longer than 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, actually, we do see them phase in this one. We don't see him dissolve in the for the cops. At the greenhouse, they dissolve.
Okay. Oh, yeah, because they dissolve. He
says the line to those old ladies. He goes, don't worry, ladies.
They're biodegradable. And these women are comically placed. It's so funny. And they look maybe in their 50s, but they're dressed to be 87 in the 1940s. It's so funny.
It's so fucking funny.
And they're holding little potted plants. But before that, before the man turns into a trancer, he gets off a forklift and takes off his sunglasses and says, hey. And then when he goes back into the scene in a different shot, he has his sunglasses on and pulls them back off.
What I thought was funny about that, the long second, as they like to call it, the very first one we see. No, that's before Alice uses it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so before Alice uses it, it is comically long for 10 seconds. And then we see Alice use it. And that one is weird because it almost like they have the physics wrong for it. It's fine in every other scene that they use it, but for this one, they have them stop and all of the stuff in their hands fall out of their hands. But the world, it's weird. It didn't make any sense. It made, because they're not stopping when they, like when the long second happens. They're still doing what they're doing. It's just happening in a second. So did hers freeze time is like freeze people as well?
No, because I think they were, I have no idea. They just wanted to do that cool effect.
Gotcha. I was just a little confused about that one because I was just like,
or do you want to know what? They felt both those things drop, and when you feel something drop, you stop. Because you're like, oh, I got to pick up this thing.
Oh, they're clumsy. That's what it is. They had butterfingers.
Yep.
My bad. Sorry.
Butterfingers? Aren't those paws? Because our cat's name is Butter.
That took me a second. Sorry.
We find out that Whistler's brother is Dr. E.D. Wardo.
Wardo.
We read that initially, and we were like, Wardo? What? Like, we thought it, but then it's like, no, it's probably like Wardo.
Yeah, probably. E.D. Wardo. But we sat there for like a solid 15 seconds just saying Wardo. I wrote down, imagine if you were in McNulty's situation. You're a 16-year-old girl, and you wake up from like a 4-day haze of a coma. You don't, like, you've been moving and something's been going on, only to realize you now have a craving for cigars and what did I specifically write down? A throbbing whiskey liver, because clearly he does not give a shit about this body. Does not care.
But eventually this girl will wake up in her body and have addictions.
Yeah, probably. Just like a mild addiction to tobacco. Just not knowing what that is until she smells it again. But who knows? That chick might be a champ at drinking later on because the liver's already used to it. She's going to outdrink everybody in college.
Oh, dang. That was my dream, but I went to community college and there's
So you just outdrank everybody in class?
Yeah. They did have one, no, not even MCC. It was Baker College across the street, had in quotes, dormitory, but it was really just a motel, like retransformed, or like a few small apartments in a building turned into apartments. Yeah. It was real weird.
Oh my, I was just thinking about after the great escape of Jack saving Alice, just the amazing, are you who I think you are?
Yeah, and are you who I think you are? And then Alice goes, it is you, Jack, the only man I ever had sex with. These lines are wild.
It was so weird.
And how they're delivered is even more so.
Also, Jack is literally the same person.
Yeah, he looks the same, but we suspension of disbelief, whatever.
Alice is a child. Or not a child, but looks like a child. So the whole time it's weird.
Oh, yeah. Which, speaking of, they go back, and Jack, instead of laying it out real quick, saying, hey, I am married now, but I guess the death thing, he could have just said, like, we end up getting a divorce. Like, it didn't work out. That would be better, so he could tell her that he has a wife in this current day because she is technically dead. This is 6 years after. Probably actually a little bit longer because she died and then maybe a year of him being weird on the force.
Yeah.
So it's been a while for him. He's processed this death, and he could have said that, but instead, oh, I love you, Jack, and they start kissing, and Lena comes in and says, Jack, you son of a bitch, which she says again because they kiss again. Jack, you son of a bitch.
I think they just cut the same scene. They didn't have her re-say the line.
Oh, dang. That would be wild because I think they're in different settings.
Yeah.
But he explains like, hey, I'm sorry. she's going to die soon. So it just was weird. Also, she grabbed me and I didn't have a chance to get away.
I didn't have a chance to push her off of me. Yeah. Sure. Yeah.
You're a man, and this is at hopefully Lois. We know the actor at the time was like 2022. Oh, 2022. Ho, ho, ho. Am I right?
Yeah, but we also... There's the only time anybody says anything about Alice's age, Jack's ex-wife.
Yes.
Is Lena saying, fine, but don't let me catch you kissing that teenager again.
Which it could be, hey, it's just a younger woman in general, and I'm going to call her a teenager but hopefully this is 18 or 19-year-old individual, and yeah, like she's so tiny, and it's very weird, but she's like, oh, Lena, after seeing this, is pretty much saying, I've had to deal with a lot of your Trancers stuff. You know, I'm understanding there, but 2 wives? This is ridiculous.
Are you a bigamist?
Which we both thought, is she mispronouncing polygamist?
Yeah, and we had to look it up, but that's partially because we're both high.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I wasn't just yet.
I've been high all day. No, I had work. That's not true.
So then all of a sudden, aptly, he has this deli guy come. Is that the next thing? He has this deli guy come, and Jack's like at gunpoint is like, who the fuck are you? Show me your credentials, you piece of shit. And Hap's like, no, man, that's just my deli guy. Jack has been living there for 6 years and has never met the deli guy.
It could be that he's just hyper vigilant at that moment. Just like really paranoid. Who are you? What is your name?
And the deli owner leaves after Jack says, put it on Hap's tab. And McNulty holds up this ham. Oh, also Hap's boozing again, but holds up this ham and says, hey, Jack, why does this ham feel weird? That's actually the weirdest thing in this. Why is this? It feels stuffed like a turkey. And then Jack goes, no, takes the ham, throws it. It flies out the window, crashes through, and it explodes like a huge bomb. And the deli guy comes in as a trancer, and he's like, rah, shotgunning it. And they kill them all. It's real cool. And this is one of the most iconic lines from this movie. Jack is talking to Hap because Hap's like, oh, I need to get boozed up because they're just going to keep coming for me, man. I'm dead as a doornail. And Jack goes, do you want to say the line?
Yeah. The next time somebody hands you an exploding ham, I'll pass you the mustard.
Ooh, I also wrote, I'm going to pass the ham. Not mustard. Oh, and then they kiss again.
Yeah,
so
I was just going to bring that up.
Like, what's her face says, I wish I could make love to you right now, Jack.
And then they go in for a kiss. And he's literally wrapping his arms around her at that moment.
Wrap your arms around me, baby.
And Lena comes by and it's like, Jack, you son of a bitch. And he's like, oh, no, you don't understand. It's not even like that. Oh, you're wrapped around. What do you mean it's not like that?
How about you go fuck that teen?
The best part of that is too is like they're making out and McNulty just like, hey, don't, hey, no, hey, cut it out. Hey,
in those situations, just walk up to your friend and push them to get their attention. They were standing close to each other. Mm-hmm. He could have just been like, hey. It's the same when, on a kid's TV show, the kid says, yeah, Mr. Finkelstein stinks. More like Stinkelstein, am I right? Finkelstink. Oh. And the friend's like, cut it out. Oh, behind you. And then they turn, Joe, just walk into your friend. That will make them stop and then look behind them. Oh, shoot.
Don't let them finish.
I mean, Finkelstein.
Don't let them look stupid. That's not a good friend.
So she leaves, and Jack thinks Hap left. He took the Corvette and he's listening to some hip hop in there, baby. I don't know what song this could be, but it's real weird. It sounds like pseudo hip hop that a white man is doing.
Yeah, it sounds like something that like they don't have any money for the rights of anything, so they had somebody just make some sound guy make a quick song so they can use it for the scene.
And you want to know the quickest music to make? Rap music. At least in this style.
Well, it was the 90s, so I guess he was trying to fit in.
Yeah, it was just a drum machine and a man trying to rap.
I don't even know what he was saying, to be quite honest with you.
I wish I could find this song. I tried. Okay, so Hap gets drunk and he goes back to his houseless friends at some abandoned stockyard.
Yeah.
And he's drunk, taking out all this equipment to be able to play baseball because he said, hey, if I can just play one more ball a game, I'm good with going out. So he goes there and he forces these old houseless men to play baseball. And I was like, this would have been so much funnier, but it would have been too campy than they were going for, because this seems like it was written to be serious, but it feels campy. It would have been hilarious if he went to a park where Little League was happening and he like goaded a bunch of kids into playing.
It'd be funny if he used the same tactics too.
Yeah.
This is like, cause he tries to get everybody to play and they're very like apprehensive at first. And he pulls out a bunch of booze. He's like, well, I guess you don't get any of these. If he used that with the kids, it would have been fucking hilarious.
Yes, that's self-parody then.
Yeah, 100%. But it would be something that a drunk person would do.
Oh, yeah.
So, is it parody?
Yeah, when you get drunk, you're always offering kids alcohol.
No, you're just doing dumb shit.
Oh yeah, that's pretty dumb. So, at this time, I wrote down, would you... Let's say you're from the future, your wife dies, you come back, you meet someone new, it's 7 years, you've been with them for 6 years since the passing of your wife. Then your future wife comes back, and you're like, oh, shoot, would you kiss or sleep with your future wife?
Me? No. I'm married now, right?
Yes.
I would be like, there's something we need to talk about.
You would try a 3-way though, right?
God, no. Seems like too much work. And be like, that's a fantasy dream, obviously, but like, that's a lot of work.
Science fiction dream, actually, bitch, because it's time travel.
B, no matter which way you spin it, one of them are going to be very upset with you. And both of them will probably leave you.
Yeah, but also B, think of them B cups, baby.
Yeah, no, I'm not dumb. I know what would happen if I was like, so you guys want to get together?
See, what would happen in my situation is I am with my future wife, who is Nicole, and then she ends up dying, but I go back in time, and also it's Nicole, and then... when they meet in the it's Nicole future and Nicole current day, one of them would be like, so like James wants us to make out, right? And I'd be like, yes, thank God one of you two said it.
Jesus Christ.
Because I want to see Nicole kiss Nicole. That's a goddamn dream. To be multiple manned by Nicole. That's love, baby.
I bet it is, man. Oh, we get the name of the drug, the name of the plant the drug comes from.
Oh, the plant is called Scrub 78?
Oh, it comes from, that's the chemical.
Oh, okay.
It comes from the plant, the Herbosa toxicalis.
Oh, dang. Herbosas. Oh, that's new. Bosas are now boobies.
I guess so.
We find that out after this happens, where they like pick up Hap. And the Trancers are coming after Hap, and he just picks up a bottle and square throws one right in one of their just head, and it bursts open. But Trancers, or no, I think he fell down.
Falls down. Like he straight up just decks the guy with the bottle, and then gets saved by Jack. But the way the guy gets hit, even though it's a prop, he gets hit. It like gets rocked so hard in the face. You could see because they kind of do like a slow motion close up. Also, this movie does so many close ups.
Yeah.
They do a slow motion close up of the bottle hitting his face, and you could see how hard they threw that at him.
Also, during this time, at least I think one of the Toxic Avengers also had this, and Body Melt, which we discussed on the Patreon, Lil Corey and I. You would love that movie, I think. It's real gross body horror, The Thing type stuff. All of these are having to do with like health lifestyle type cults. And I just wonder why that was in the zeitgeist in the early 90s.
I don't know. Was it because like was it the 70s or the 80s that they had the real satanic fear?
Satanic Panic was in the 80s.
In the 80s, so it could have just been like the aftermath of it that people were like, "Look how stupid this is." They were like making movies about it, or maybe I don't know.
But specifically health cults, because there's nothing really satanic about that.
No,
I guess maybe health cults were on the rise.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I can't think
because the 80s had a lot of health fitness bullshit.
That is true. And the 90s was like the TV dinners.
No, I mean, TV dinners have always been
a thing.
They were just trying. I think because of the 80s, maybe they were going on the outs, so that's why they were marketing towards kids of, look at these kid cuisines. This cute little penguin, you can eat him. Yay, yay.
Yeah, yay. Oh, also, so when they save Hap, Jack gives Alice a gun, and the actress, I guess they don't have enough time to do more shots because the way she's holding the gun and shooting,
she's holding the butt of it with just her index and her thumb. Like, is this a gun?
It was with both hands. But like, imagine if you had two fists and put them together just like that.
I have two fists and I always put them together like this to do my cool punches.
What are you punching? A punching bag?
No, like Frieza's Saiyan defeaters.
What was that?
I couldn't think of any. the Frieza's Gaim 5. No, Ginga Men.
The Ginyu Force.
Ginyu Force.
That's your pose for the Ginyu Forces?
Yeah, no, I punch. That's how I'm punching them. Oh, you saw how difficult it was for Piccolo to beat them?
I know.
He has to... Piccolo wasn't there then. You saw how it was for insert the other people. They were just using one fist at a time. You got to use two.
You got to put both of them together at the same time.
Yeah, it's like an air Zuka, but with your fists.
Oh, it's like the Kamehameha, but like instead of energy, it's just your fist?
Yeah. It's highly ineffective.
I don't know. You said they took out the Ginyu Force, the Frieza super cool.
No, I say that's how I do it, but I haven't beaten them. I go to the dojo once a week to fight them.
To practice, you do the one move every single day, hours on end. Oh, I want to be like you when I grow up, James.
You're already there, dude. So they're going back to the one place, the place, the institution, to get, because Alice got captured again. So they're going back to get her. Or no, Lena got captured this time because she left in a tizzy, as she should. And then on their way back, we see Alice running through trees, like being sneaky before getting to the building. And then we see a tree, like obviously the tree is in frame for a reason, and a guard walking past it. And I say, it would be so funny if, like Batman, the 60s version, just Jack jumps out, looks at the guy, then punches him square in the mouth, and he falls down.
But we got something even better.
Yeah, so we were waiting, and then it's out of frame, and we're like, oh, we were wrong. And that's at the perfect moment. Jack jumps down from like the branches of the tree, so from a vertical angle.
Just from the top rope. just crushes the man, and then immediately robs him of his Jordans and his outfit because he was dressed as a cop. Just so they can get into the facility. But it was amazing because he just comes out of nowhere, jumping out of that tree.
And then they walk inside, and again, these could just be normal cops. I mean, like, yeah, but also, yeah. These could be non-trancers, is what I'll say.
Regular cops.
Jack and Alice, because Jack is looking down. They don't know it's Jack yet. He has an AK-47 with him and is escorting Alice. So they're thinking, this man caught her. Hell yeah. And then Alice pulls out a gun. They start shooting everyone and anyone.
Yeah, they don't even really think about the people that they're trying to save either, because like they shoot at the doctors that are or the orderlies that are right in front of Lena and Rabbit, because Rabbit's there this time, and they could have easily just murdered Lena and Rabbit just by firing in that direction, because they missed quite a bit of shots.
Yeah. But hey, they also missed Lena and Rabbit.
Yeah, you're right. We'll see.
But they run outside and they're torching all these drug plants. And then Rabbit runs out. He gets shot up. And it's like, oh no!
Rabbit was like the only real one.
No, Rabbit sucked.
He sucked, but I'm saying at the end, he was like, I can't do this.
Oh yeah, that.
And then it just made a run for it and took Lena with him. Like, I can't do this. I don't want to be a zombie.
I know what those drugs do to people. And I want to go smooch that lady who for some reason thought I was attractive.
Also, we got like right before the like Jack infiltrates the compound, we get like those iconic menace, like evil people walking down a hallway talking and planning, and then it cuts to a random like scene of them like looking at the scientists. Just a random scene of the scientists doing evil science things. Just no explanation of why we're watching them. Just like, oh yeah, there's scientists doing stuff here too, guys. Just so you know.
Yeah. And then they make their way to a barn where they're hiding out, but of course, Whistler's brother, Dr. Eduardo, they're completely surrounded, and there's going to be a shootout, and the Trancers push a flaming car into this barn to smoke them out, and then Jack, in this huge trough, he turns on a trailer that is hitched to a trough that's metal, and then they get pulled out because all three of them are hiding in the trough. And when the firing stops from the Trancers, they come out and just start lighting people
unloading.
Up.
And then the people that they're shooting, they only shoot like the first front row and the second row. But there's so many cops and firefighters in the back. Or no, just cops and orderlies. And they just freak out.
There's no firefighters in this entire movie.
No firefighters in this fire.
There is a fire truck.
They freak out when Hap shows up with the fire truck.
Oh yeah.
Which was like, why are you guys running
from a fire truck? Maybe they're thinking, oh wait, there is a fire.
There was a fire going on. The barn was on fire, but that was kind of funny. They're just like, oh no, the fire truck's here. It's the man with the fire truck. We gotta go.
Or maybe it's a cop thinking, oh, if the fireman's here, that means he's done with my wife. I can go back home.
No, the cops were afraid of the firefighters, so they had to. They were on the firefighter territory, so the cops had to leave. You know, they have this old armistice sign.
If there's fire, a cop better not be there.
They have to go away, or else the firefighters will put out the fire and fight the cops at the same time. It's really interesting.
And that disperses. It means the pressure of the hoses have.
Yeah, and this is all because it was the 90s. And the late 80s, you know.
It's also this future people bringing their stuff back.
Bringing their super crack here, so the cops had to leave. Yep. Also notice that the cops were all on the super crack. No firefighters.
Nope. 0 of them. Again, there was 0 firefighters.
There was 0 firefighters
movie.
throughout this whole movie.
So I just thought, because it's not an AK-47, but it looks like that Jack Deth has. And he was just like reaching out and indiscriminately firing it here and there as if that's going to distract the people. You're missing everyone.
Also, the one guy in the front, the one orderly in the front with the shotgun was not even holding the shotgun correctly. He was shooting, but also bracing to get hit at the entire time. He had one hand with the shotgun shooting, the other hand getting ready so he can fall backwards. It was so funny. Just standing there, just oosh, doosh, doosh.
But when he pops out of the trough, Jack Deth, just doing a long second with an AK-47, it's like bullet time, or in 50 Cent's Bulletproof when time slows down and you go...
Or Max Payne. I think Max Payne had a bullet
yeah,
time.
that was bullet. That's how it started.
Oh, yeah.
And then everyone said, we got to get a bullet time. And then everyone besides Whistler and the lady are dead. How does Whistler die?
Hap decides to hop out of the fire truck with McNulty to put out the fire. And as he's getting the fire hose ready, Edie Wardo is coming out with the fake-looking AK. And Jack has a pitchfork.
Yeah.
And just throws it at Edie Wardo while he's shooting. Somehow Edie Wardo misses every single shot. But Jack impales him in the chest with the pitchfork from like 50 yards away.
So I was going to say, if you tried to do this as like playing Dungeons and Dragons, the DM would say, you can't throw that far. And you go, wait, well, how far away am I? Well, you're 30 feet away and you can only throw 20 feet away. Can I do it with disadvantage? I guess. And then you roll 2 nat 20s. That would be this. This is the only way your DM would allow this to happen.
100%.
Because also you would need to crit to completely kill this man.
Well, no, because Edie Wardo was like a frail, sickly old man.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so he walked everywhere with a tissue covering his face because he said everybody was polluted like the world.
Well, that could just be a germaphobe.
True, but he looked like he was sickly.
Okay, all right. I think that might just be the actor's face.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It might be.
I took it as because he kept covering his face. I don't know.
I cover my face, but I'm not sick, bitch.
Sorry.
It's because I care about this globe, okay? I care about the others here.
Dumb.
I cover my mouth.
I'm just stupid. I'm sorry.
And my nose.
I don't understand things.
And my testicles. Because the world don't want to see those.
Or use it as a belt buckle.
And if it sneezes, oh boy, COVID everywhere. Because I don't have COVID, but my dick, when it sneezes.
It definitely has COVID.
Uh-huh.
You should go get that checked out, James.
I did, and they said it's an anomaly.
We were like, we've never seen this before.
They said, we think you're pulling our chain. Because your dick is sneezing with the veracity of an actual sneeze.
They said, we think you're pulling my our chain. You're like, well, you're pulling my leg, so that was a bad joke.
Or you're pulling my dick. Because they have to jack it off to see how it sneezes. But I'm like, no, it's not jacking off. It can be soft and it will sneeze.
What if the doctor has... Sorry.
You just put pepper around it.
I was going to say, what if the doctor has a chain wallet?
And you're pulling the chain.
You're just pulling the chain. You're like, no, I'm not.
I'm not, sir. So they then realize that Jack is not going up the line. He wants to stay with Lena. This is his home now.
Yeah.
But he says, well, who I think should go back up, because if you use the syringe, Alice, you're going up to a timeline that you're going to die. You don't have a body there, but you have a body now. Use this and go up the line and you be on the committee or whatever.
That just broke my brain as well. I'm sorry.
That one's the one that makes the most sense to me. Like, it doesn't, but it also does.
I guess.
I think because maybe as long as there is a soul for your body to be in, it's the body that dies, not the soul.
No, I get you, but I'm just thinking about if she doesn't die, does Jack still go on that Trancer rampage that he goes on for like a year?
No, she does still. Her old body is dead.
Okay.
So
that they just straight up took a,
Yeah. Okay. So yes. So technically, the person who formerly inhabited the body, that soul is just gone now, which is weird, or is still in there and doesn't know what's going on, or is like at sleep. But I think the reason why they made this person someone who is mentally disabled is like, well, they weren't technically there to begin with. So the audience wouldn't, in quotes, feel bad, but it's fucked up.
It's fucked up because they straight up just pull somebody out of like their entire life.
Yeah.
So then technically Alice wouldn't still be born though.
Whoa.
Because
unless that person already had a baby. It's a boy.
True.
We had a baby, eats a boy.
It's a boy. That is possible, but we did establish that, well, people have babies whenever, so I don't know.
And I have baby whenever.
A vas deferens.
It's been snipped, cut, and trimmed like my foreskin. So it happened last week. Yeah, I got a circumcision.
Hey.
A religious procedure.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm very happy for you.
I'm one with the Lord now. And I'm not talking about Jesus. I'm talking about that Royals lady.
Royals? Oh.
She has this church where she snips off foreskin.
Gotcha.
So the last real thing that happens is, what's her face? Alice is saying,
yes.
Oh,
sorry.
But you have to come back with me.
Jack, but you won't be there.
We won't be together. And then Jack says, but you won't die in my arms either. And that's a perfectly written
that was a good
conversation. Line. So good. And then the rest of this movie's just wacky crazy.
Oh, yeah. You've been crucified.
In a classic 80s action movie sense, not a... These just don't make sense. They're trying to do one-liners.
Yeah, they're just doing one-liners while they're finishing the movie. It's... everybody's... McNulty gets back to his preferred timeline, and everybody's like, who's this lady? And she's like, oh, Jack's not coming back. Don't worry about it.
Oh, but Jack will be coming back next episode 4. Trancers 3, Jack's back?
Jack lives.
Oh, Jack lives.
Jack Deth lives.
There we go.
That's what it was.
Death lives. That's a pretty good title.
Death to Squids.
And Death to Squids.
Squids.
That's what we've been. So, Jose, out of 5, what would you give this movie?
Honestly, last one I give a 4. This one I give about like a 3.9, 4-ish. They're pretty close to me. Like they kind of stand alone, but one's good for one reason, one's good for another reason, if that makes any sense. This was a lot of fun, and it was bonkers, and I love it. I love bonkers shit like this, so I love that. Yeah, like a 3.94.
Yeah, I initially, back when I first watched this, gave it a 4, and I was like, should I give it a 3.5? No, this is a 4.
Yeah.
The last one, I believe I gave a 4.5 because of that drawn out little bit of middle section where Hap is drunk and they're trying to go through all of that rigmarole. I know that part bumped it down, but this one I'll give a 4. I really liked it, and they're equally as good, but for wildly different reasons.
Yeah, this was bonkers. The first one was just it was like interesting and had a good interesting story.
It had that like glow of the neon. It was shot very well.
Yes.
There weren't as many close-ups.
This one just had a lot of close-ups.
This looks like a curtain right here, like the
the lights.
Yeah, the lights look like it's because then you see the white of the door, and that looks like a curtain.
Got you. Hey.
So, are you still excited?
Hell yes.
This next one, it starts getting like weirdness. It will be coming aplenty, and for anyone curious, when we watch 4 and 5, we will be watching them on Full Moon Features streaming service because they have the remastered widescreen prints of it, opposed to the just atrocious would have been put on video transfer that's on Tubi right now.
Yeah, and don't forget, next week we're gonna next time we'll
discuss
Trancers City.
Yeah, baby. Trancers City of Lost Angels. Or is that Angeles?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Yes, Los Angeles.
Okay, there we go. Jose, thank you so much for coming on this journey.
Hell yes. I'm happy. I'm buckled in. I'm ready. I got my snacks. I'm ready for this journey.
So I thought if we enjoy what we're doing and people enjoy what we're doing, maybe we could do like Sharknado next, or...
What about Tremors?
We could do Tremors. Yeah.
I would love to watch Tremors again.
Hell yeah.
Because it gets wild after the second one.
Then we'll do stuff like Sharknado is awesome. There's only one bad one.
I haven't seen any of them, honestly.
Oh, the first two are like, oh, okay, we get what they're doing. But then the third one is when they lean into it so hard. It's filmed at Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure bullshit. Or not Islands of Adventure, just normal Universal Studios in Florida. So, yeah, it's a real good movie series.
I'm down.
Hell yeah. Well, I've been James.
I'm Jose.
And this has been Death to Squids. Those bleedy squibs.
It's not a real gun.
But the bullets hurt equal the same.
Somebody get help.
Hey, Jose, next time you hand me an exploding ham, I'll pass the mustard. Hey guys, Editor James here. We forgot to do every single plug, so please listen to my music under Marshland Monster. Head over to mlmpod.com to find out information about all our other shows, and head over to patreon.com/mlmpod, where for $5 a month you get exclusive content every single Friday. Good times over there. New show, The Citizens of Townsville Z, discussing Powerpuff Girls Z. The Toei-produced anime adaptation of Powerpuff Girls is there and will be a new episode out this Friday if you're listening to it the time of recording. Great stuff, but if you're a $10 patron, you get all of that $5 stuff, and on top of that, monthly exclusive bonus content in the form of straight to Patreon and watch-alongs, great stuff. And shout-outs on every single free feed podcast, so let's begin with those, starting with Steve F., Eric Berry of Ranger Command Power Hour, Alex Z, the Waz Orion, Jordan B, the Chaos Witch, my Bickle, Brother in Common Law, Joshua Jacus, Steve Barnes, A Sweet Child of Time, and Intro Void, the womb in which I emerged my mother, Lil Corey's BFF and now former roommate Shane, That Fed, twitch.tv/Core Winning, It's Corwin, and from the Rom Complex and Formulaic, a podcast and script writing, it's R2 Shelby 2, and of twitch.tv/R2 Shelby 2. All right, guys, see you later. Bye. Listen to Hit It and Crit It with Jose and I. Bye. Oh, yeah.